Out of all the people in this chat, I am the second tallest other than Craig because Craig is infinite. But honestly, out of all of you, I'm sorry, but I am most afraid of Cat and Rain. You guys could deck me. Welcome back to Akumas Anonymous, a podcast where we discuss spoilers, episodes, and other pieces of Miraculous Ladybug news. I'm your host for today, RONI. You can find me on Twitter at princess_nova. I am a social media manager for the book club. And a fun fact about me is, you know what, let's use it. I am suffering.
That's not a fun fact. That's an unfun fact.
Yay.
I feel weird yaying that one.
You can yay. Don't worry.
Yay!
Okay, so hello. I am the cat. And you can find me on Instagram at xxcatastrophe and Twitter at Flaming Cats. And my fun fact is that when I was about 9 years old, I was really into Dr. G Medical Examiner, and I wanted to be a medical examiner.
Yay!
Honestly, sounds like a cat thing.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rain. I'm a social media manager for the book club and art club. My primary social media, you can find me anywhere you see raining outside or raining art. And a quick fun fact, I am using my male voice as much as I can for this podcast, I've decided. Ha!
Yay!
Spicy.
Hello, I am the Corn. I am the unlikely founder of the GameNet Book Club and Art Club. You can find me on Tumblr and AO3 at Shadow Myura, on Instagram and TikTok at Corinne_Prudenti_art, and on Twitter at Corinne Prudenti. Fun fact about me is I'm a good boy and I draw a mountain. Also, I have a secret.
What's your secret?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, that's why I asked.
Why do you
Oh
do
my
this
God.
to me? Hello, I am the May. I'm a mod on the GameNet Book Club and Art Club, and you can find me on Insta, Tumblr, YouTube, and AO3 at Maybe My Era. My fun fact is that when I was, I think 14, I tried to make a homemade zip line in my cousin's backyard and ended up chipping my tooth a little bit, so that has permanently altered the state of my existence until I die.
Yay!
F in the chat. All of us are members of the GameNet Book Club and Art Club Discord server, where we celebrate fanworks featuring Gabriel Gress and Natalie Sancoeur from Miraculous Ladybug. You can join us through the link in our description below.
Since the episodes Truth and Lies take place at the same time on opposite sides of the love square, we'll be covering both in our podcast today. Alrighty, buds, let's get to podcasting.
Natalie, that is all.
Okay, Kenny.
No, listen, we got Natalie content.
Hell
you
yeah.
don't understand. We got Natalie content for the first time in forever.
I like how everyone was like, oh my god, what is she saying? And then it just turns out she's just reading out how to fucking fix the miraculous, and it was just like,
My face
Cool,
went
but,
from smiling emoji to the dead face emoji.
Yeah, honestly.
I thought it was cool.
Like, at least we got Natalie content in the first place, but come on, give us more!
I want to see her face. I riot.
So after the miraculous was fixed, Gabriel noted that it could be used safely now because it was good as new.
Yeah.
But did anyone notice that he said we can use it safely? We.
Excited.
Maybe there are some plans to bring Myra back, please.
Well, that also reminds me, I think Sabrina posted on her Instagram, her and her mask recording for season 4, and she said, "Dusu spread my feathers" in the caption.
Oh my
So
god!
people are like,
Sabrina, you're such an MVP for giving us these little nuggets of information.
Nugget!
Oh no.
Dusu is okay, so it turns out that Dusu is all weird and cracky because of the fact that the miraculous was broken. I kind of expected that, but Dusu does not remember a single thing. Well, I mean, she does, but it's like having a weird fever dream rather than it being real.
Mhm.
And then she's like, oh my god, it was the worst. And then Nuru's like, the worst is yet to come, my friend.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel you, Dusu. I want to give you a hug.
It makes me nervous. I had the feeling that the personality stuff was mostly because of the broken Miraculous, but I thought that the emotions, at least, were genuine, and it makes me really sad and kind of worried that she's like, oh no, I dreamt that we were held by terrible villains. I'm like, since when have you ever thought of Natalie as a terrible villain?
No,
Yeah, honestly, do any of you guys remember your dreams really? Like, even the ones that you kind of remember? Like, it might be that Dusu doesn't, like, remember it.
I don't know. I'm having a lot of emotions about the rest of the things that happened in this episode.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Ah!
I have emotions about the time skip, or like the lack of time skip, the lack of addressing even the fact that Shadow Moth is a thing now and that Mayura is not with. Like, okay, first of all, where is that conversation between them? I was absolutely sure that we'd get some kind of scene where it's established between Gabriel and Natalie that this is how it's going to be from now on, at least for the time being. But there's no acknowledgement on that side. There's no acknowledgement on the hero's side. Like, neither of them seem all that surprised, which is kind of weird to me. I know that they've seen Mayura sick, but they don't even seem to wonder exactly what's happened. They're just like, oh, he's Shadow Moth now. All right.
They're like, oh, okay.
That really doesn't check out, does it?
Yeah, maybe that's what the episode Gabriel Agrest is gonna be.
Probably.
We fucking hope.
Yeah, but that's true. There's still a lot of time for them to address it. But I just thought that it would be a priority going into the season, and I'm a little bit disappointed that we really didn't get anything.
That's Miraculous Ladybug for you.
Yeah.
I was really shook by the fact that the hot takes that we got from Truth were not the ones that I was expecting us to get from Truth. I was expecting us to get some sort of reveal or partial reveal or something like that, because that's the nature of the Akuma. And instead we got Jagged Stone as Luka and Julika's dad. Like a fan theory that like we never believed would come true, but here we are.
Wait, was it confirmed that he was Julika's too?
Yeah, they're twins.
Wait, they are?
Yeah,
Apparently.
Thomas used to say that Luka was the older brother, but it was retconned into them being twins. I mean, he's still the older twin, but
Yeah,
What?
they said he was older, but they didn't say by how much he was older by. So,
Oh
like,
my god.
you know.
How many twins are in this goddamn show?
Too many.
This is the first set of twins though that we have that aren't just like a duplicate character models.
Oh, thank god.
Oh, true, yeah, because
they're fraternal twins.
yeah, because the other twins in the show are identical, like Alia's sisters and Amelie and Emily.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, Felix and Adrian.
Lazy.
You know how they say when you do your eyeliner, they say sisters, not twins? And then some people are like, even just cousins is good enough. So it's like saying cousins is good enough as you're doing your eyeliner, except then your eyeliner comes out perfectly matched and you don't really understand how that happens. That's what Felix and Adrian are.
Oh my
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But speaking of Julika, we never actually hear Julika speak words. She just kind of mumbles every line of dialogue. It was super annoying. I was like, what are you saying?
I think she does that a lot in other episodes too. I worry about her.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a self-confidence issue. It could be something darker. I'm not sure whether I trust Miraculous to handle that well or not, but like, who knows?
I have hope that they'll be able to handle it
I
well.
think this is the first time that she hasn't said any intelligible words, though.
Oh.
Yeah, you can usually understand what she says. It's that she just speaks quietly. But Thomas did also say on Twitter that Julika's the oldest person in Miss Boustier's class, and also confirmed that she was held back.
Oh. I wonder what Julika thinks of all this. Like, we got Luka's reaction to the reveal and everything, but I'm not sure that we got any of Julika's. And I was also too completely shocked to notice, I guess.
So on my rewatch, I did watch for that, and she barely reacts at all. She doesn't even look shocked or angry or anything. I find that really disappointing. I know that it's a Luka-focused episode, but I would have liked to see a little bit of what she thought about that. It's her dad, too.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe it was something when she got hit by the Akuma at that point.
Yeah.
She jumped in front of Rose to take the hit, so like maybe she couldn't actually react properly.
And people still say they aren't a couple.
There they are.
They so clearly are.
Oh, they totally are.
English dub being like, "Oh, Rose, my best friend." Shut up, you're dating.
Yeah, they're one of the couples I think are the most canon other than Gabe Nath. And like, you know, obviously the love square. But they're actually more even canon than the love square based on interactions, if you ask me.
Yes,
Fair.
And then, so speaking of everything with Jagged and Luka was a big part of the episode, but the part that we were expecting was Marinette and Luka being a big part of the episode.
I guess they kind of were, but not really in the middle. Rip.
It went like Hawkmoth freaking snapped an Akuma, Marinette snapped the relationship, Thanos style.
At least it wasn't a nasty breakup.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it was such a fucking cop-out on the writing side.
Yeah, what?
For both episodes. First of all, okay, I always hate when shows do this when they're like really shaking up the status quo and they make a big deal about it and there's all kinds of spoilers and teases and all of this. And then that new plot line lasts for like 2 to 3 episodes and this didn't even last that long. Each of these relationships were done within an episode.
Yeah.
And second of all, that neither couple was allowed to kiss.
Rip.
That's just such an unhealthy ideal to kids that your first kiss has to be the one that you're with
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. No, you can have fulfilling relationships and you can meet age appropriate landmarks in relationships that aren't your final relationship. Like that's a normal part of growing up and just being a human being.
Yeah.
This gives me hope for Gabe Nath. He kissed Emily and now he's gonna kiss Natalie.
I am glad though to see that Luka has a limit and boundaries and things because I think of the
Yeah.
ideals that Miraculous tries to take a go at, this is a very good one. Like he's not actually one of my favorite characters, but he's one of the ones that I think is done the most realistically in terms of relationships and interpersonal interaction because like most people in life aren't going to be as dramatic as many of these character relationships. And Luka's just there. Luka's like chill. He's doing his thing and he knows what sorts of things will be helpful to him and what sorts of things will be harmful to him. So I'm really glad that he's a character in the show.
I was also really glad to see him stand up for himself like that
Oh, God,
because
yeah.
in the law of ways he's the most mature when it comes to relationships in this show, which in some ways is bad for him because he's just like leagues above all of his other peers in terms of emotional maturity.
Yeah.
Which means that he really gets the short end of the stick a lot. So I was glad that for once he really showed that he isn't just being a pushover. I'm glad that he has a line himself as to where he will no longer allow himself to be used.
Yeah. I think that's partially why I think about Lukagami a little bit more than the average person because Lukagami isn't like as mature as him, but she has more elements to her that are more mature than Marinette and Adrienne. And
Yeah.
I think they would actually work better, but that's a whole other tangent for a different time.
Hell yeah, I love Lukagami. Oh my god. Sorry.
Yeah, speaking of Marinette being less mature than Luka, like her phone conversation with him.
No,
Oh, so
that hurt me so bad. Marinette, I love you, but like, Jesus, girl.
okay, Luka, I just cheated on you. I mean,
Oh.
I really hope that's a translation error. Please.
Okay, same, but also like
Because, like, again, English subs are not always accurate.
but some of the other stuff too, like, oh yes, of course, Luka, I can't wait for our
Oh.
date. My favorite person, Luka.
Oh my god.
Hear me slamming my head into my desk.
God. Well, you know what? At least when they were together, they had a really nice dynamic. They were walking to the theaters. He was like quizzing her on
Yeah.
Jagged Stone trivia. That was pretty fun to watch.
And then she abandoned him to go get water.
It's not her fault that Mr. Pigeon crashed your date.
Speaking of the Jagged Stone trivia, some of these
Oh,
lyrics,
no.
man, ouch.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Ah!
My guitar is my
Yeah.
only family. Oh.
Lies? Jagged, you freaking liar. You absolute deadbeat dad, Jagged, lying.
Asshole.
Shitty Parents Club.
Gabriel Agreste is no longer the worst father in this show. At least he fathers.
Right?
Yes, exactly. I'm not sure. Like, my opinion of Jagged is honestly shook at this point. Like, I don't know what to do about it.
I was like, Jagged somehow is worse.
I used to love Jagged, and I think that there are ways that he could have been Luka's father that wouldn't have made him to be such an asshole. But the way that this was revealed and his intentions behind everything,
Yikes.
oh, oof, God, not.
And his
good.
just like general indifference to Luka's, like, I mean, except at the end, but I truly don't believe just just a singular hug or whatever he said there, because I don't know French, will be enough to fix that sort of relationship.
Amazing.
Oui, baguette. May out.
Didn't he say, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but while Luka was still akumatized, didn't he say something like, I have a pet crocodile. Obviously, I'd be a bad father.
What?
What does that even mean?
Oh yeah.
I feel like being a crocodile dad would make you a better dad because like,
Yeah.
crocodiles are exotic pets.
I think maybe the point of that, though, is that it's not exactly safe to have a baby near a
Oh.
crocodile.
Yeah. What he basically said in that conversation was, I live in a hotel with a crocodile. Like,
That's pretty late.
clearly, he's basically admitting that he's not responsible. He knew his capacity to be a father was like nothing.
So step it up, dude. Like, if you don't think you're gonna be a good father, freaking learn.
I also love how this also branched the opposite end of being a terrible father. Like, Gabriel thought he could father and, like, was there, quote unquote, but he also, like, sucked ass.
I mean, at least he was there.
And he, like, was like,
Wow.
I'm doing this for my son. I'm actively participating, trying to get the woman that parents him back. Meanwhile, Jagged's like, oh yeah, you're the bomb. I love you, but I can't do this. It's not an exact opposite, but it approaches two different father types that end up both ruining the child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It also gives me a second father type that it's just like, oh, I love to hate you, but I love you, but as your character, but I
Yeah.
also hate you, but I also just can't deal with this shit anymore. Why did I have to be given two of these?
Honestly.
This is a wild detail that I picked
Oh
up
my
at this
God.
most recent time that I watched. Tom says at the beginning that Crocodile Heart, Jagged Stone's movie, came out 15 years ago. This is what Jagged was doing when Luka
Oh.
was literally a freaking baby.
What kind of name is Crocodile Heart?
A really bad one.
I don't know. There's probably stuff you could analyze in that.
So Jagged essentially ran off to be in the freaking movies while his son was a baby.
Poor Anarcha just having to watch this and getting zero child support.
Makes me so angry.
Bruh.
God dang.
You know what? Luka was entirely in the right when he yeeted his father off a building.
Oh my god.
He was, though.
That was kind of funny.
His Akuma, though, was terrifyingly cool. Like, that's actually one of my favorite Akumas I've ever seen, I think.
Yes.
Like, it was effective. It was scary. It almost unmasked Ladybug, like, more directly than everybody else ever got to, except for, like, Lady Wi-Fi
Yeah.
almost getting her mask off. Like, that's one of the favorite ones I've ever seen in an episode, and I wish it got a
Yeah.
little bit more time in the episode, but
Yeah.
even so.
Speaking of Ladybug, Cat Noir and Ladybug were really good together.
Aw.
Cat Noir actually just saved Ladybug's ass. And this is why Lady Noir is supreme.
True.
I also get the vibes of more recent episodes and like the Shanghai special and stuff like that, is that there's less of the problems where Sha is forcefully pursuing her. Like the reason that they're becoming a better team is because he's backing off a little bit and he's just making it more of a
Good.
private.
Yeah,
It's the word.
fair.
But I'm just glad that they've become a better team. At least one of the arcs that I do like in Miraculous is the Lady Noir's arc of becoming a better team.
Yes, I love them so much.
That's one that makes sense to me. They gradually get better at using their powers and they gradually get better at working together. It's just good stuff.
And trusting each other blindly.
I feel like they're highlighting that a lot of people in canon think that Sha is just the sidekick when, I mean, yeah, it's true, but like they're supposed to be equals.
I want to talk about the "is there a worse treason than from one of our loved ones" line that Shadow Moth delivers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what was that? Hello?
What the heck was that?
I just want to know, is there another meaning in that? Like, is he talking from personal experience?
So I don't remember that happening because obviously can't speak French, but the thing that immediately comes to mind is the fact that Adrian is Chat Noir. And I'm not sure if that's the writer's justification for his actions in Chonk Boink, but
Dog boy!
or if that's setting up for him to just generally be angry about Adrian's traitorous activities. But that's both a beautiful line and a terrifying line for me coming from Shadow
See,
Moth.
I was wondering if it was referring to something in the past. I was wondering if Emily
Oh.
maybe did something.
15 years ago.
15.
She started
Yeah.
the Jagged Stone movie and he got upset. He went to Shanghai to just go back in Time and Steel Fang.
Yeah, I was also reading it like that, so fuck Emily Juice.
We never got an answer on the 15 years ago thing, and it keeps getting brought up. And if we don't find out what's all about that in the Gabriel Agreste episode, I will personally fly myself to Paris in the middle of my finals week and like deposit myself on the Miraculous Writer's doorstep and like refuse to leave.
Riot, riot, riot.
No.
I'll come with you.
No. Anarchy is not the answer unless your name is Anarcha.
Oh, come on, Anarchy. No, Jagged, you left me with these fucking kids. Get off my fucking boat.
On to lies now, ladies, gentlemen, and enemies. Let's truck it along.
Lies.
Alrighty.
Lame rehash of truth.
Oh, yeah.
I am disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am also very disappointed.
As a standalone episode, I think it was decent, but it really frustrates me that Adrian and Kagami's relationship had the exact same trajectory as Marinette and Luka's. They're different people and they're different relationships, and they shouldn't both wrap up so similarly in one episode.
Yeah. Relationships don't end like that. Like, you continue thinking about this person for ages after you break up. Like, everybody remembers their first love and their first breakup, right?
Yeah, no, you make a really good point. Like, she ain't your soulmate, bitch, but at the same time,
People are more complex than they were allowed to be.
It felt forced.
Yeah. It felt very simplified and dumbed down, which, like, I
Yeah.
get it. It's a kid's show, and I have felt that occasionally in certain episodes, but I think this is the first time that I felt so strongly about it, that it was dumbed down for the audience.
True.
I felt strongly about the fact, though, regarding relationships, that Adrian is not mature enough to have a relationship, mostly because he's like really naive.
Oh,
And like, I
yeah.
honestly believe because he doesn't get a lot of interpersonal interaction at home and like has never really had a lot of friends and stuff, that he doesn't know how to deal with people.
Poor guy.
But the fact that he like obviously doesn't know how to deal with people makes me ask, what does this mean his home life was before he was allowed to go to school, like before Emily died? What is up with Emily?
Probably pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah.
We only know he had like one
Yeah,
friend,
and it was
and
Chloe.
it was Chloe. And no offense to Chloe, but she's not exactly the greatest friend.
Yeah.
I'm being nice about it.
She's the type of friend that whatever friendship she has, she just assumes the power in it. And like, that's, I mean, that's a character trait. I'm just not going to say anything else about it. But that would make sense as to why Adrian doesn't take a lot of the agency in his friendships and relationships, because if his only friend was Chloe, then he literally wouldn't know how to. Like, Adrian doesn't have boundaries in the same way.
Yeah, exactly. He probably bossed him around so much when they were younger.
And he also doesn't have any agency in his house. Like, he's always under the jurisdiction of his father, Natalie. I'm pretty sure I said this exact thing in an earlier episode because it's just very important. But
Probably. Yeah, probably.
It's good.
But
Okay.
if there's anything that I would love for Miraculous's character arcs, it would be for Adrian, when he's not wearing the Chat Noir suit, to be able to have some control over himself.
Yeah. Speaking of Adrian not wearing the Cat Noir suit, you know that scene where Kagami and Adrian are in the art room and she's telling him to pose, and then she like totally calls him a clown. I'm just like, oh, Kagami. I'm like, Kagami, I get what you're trying to say, but like, that was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Just a little. I get it. It's your thing.
That's the reason I feel like Adragami wouldn't work too well, because like they just don't. Like Kagami is still upholding that power thing where she's the more powerful one in the relationship. Not saying Adrian needs to be the more powerful one in a relationship to like learn how to do life, but it's not allowing him to grow as a person.
Yeah.
But when he puts on the suit, he does dumb shit, like sacrificing himself into the bubble to look dramatically cool in front of Ladybug. So that's not really the way to mature either, my dude.
Oh,
Love you.
Speaking of sad Adrian, so he goes from eating his sad cheese in his dining room to going to the freaking bar.
Child, you do not belong here.
I wasn't the most impressed by this episode, but I was impressed by that scene.
I love that scene so much.
That scene was really funny.
Did anyone else notice that Shaw's voicemail is literally like, there are no new messages, but don't forget about my cheese, Adrian.
Yeah, I was so surprised for it to be Plague. I was like, what?
And that's the first time we've actually heard the Kwamis talk while they're transformed.
Okay, Plag's French voice though, like, shook me. The first time I watched the French dub, I like physically shuddered. Not because it was necessarily bad, but because it was such a different vibe.
It's like Spanish Dusu all over again.
It is. It's Spanish dude.
French Plague is fitting. It's just a completely different fitting. It's like it fits differently than the English Plague voice.
Yeah, like it's not wrong. It's just way different.
Yeah, we stan a cheesy king.
I also wanted to note that every time Shat is in the suit, he's actually like goading people into being akumatized so he can
Why?
spend more time with Ladybug, and that's the unhealthy part of this relationship that I still want to see not exist anymore.
Speaking of tactics that were pulled, Kagami keeping the lucky charm and then just like not giving it back right away because like I think she knows how much it means to Adrian. Like yikes, he was like so
Okay, but her
shooketh.
Akuma powers were like really super cool, but they were there for like 2 minutes.
We love Kagami in this house. Trust me, we are pro Kagami all the way.
Her drawings were so good.
No.
As much as she was kind of not so nice to Adrian as he was just trying his best to model for her drawings are good. Her art is good.
Yeah,
She's also so freaking fast, and I'm jealous.
her art is really good. I'm kind of mad because she says that her mother says her art's not good enough. I'm like, how the fuck do you know? You literally are blind. Like, how do you know?
I wonder if the writers forgot.
Yeah, right?
Kagami, your mother is blind. Yeah, I don't see the wait, what the fuck, Mom?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, on that note, I want to go circle back to Kagami and Luka, but Kagami.
I just want to talk about Kagami.
Mood.
Yeah, honestly saying.
You know what? I'm glad that she broke up with Adrian first and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Like, as mature as Kagami can be sometimes, she obviously doesn't have as strong a handle on her own emotions, as noted by the fact that she's been akumatized separate instances 3 or 4 times.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, it was 3.
3, okay.
For post Oni-chan and
That
then
begs the question, though, what is the average akumatization rate of each citizen in Paris? You know, because, like, hasn't Mr. Pigeon been akumatized, like, 20 times?
it's more like 50, I think.
50 billion
I think the thing that sets her apart for me is that she got a new design each time. Why is she so special, Hawkmoth?
Yeah.
Why do you come up with more designs for Kagami?
Well, maybe it just means that Kagami is the person who moves on. She doesn't get akumatized over and over the same kinds of things. She has her emotions and they're strong, but then she leaves them behind. Obviously, new conflicts come up in her life, but she's not getting upset over and over about the same things.
Yeah, I can appreciate that about her.
We stan.
I was like, the only person who's had the same amount of akumatized forms is Chloe, but like, it's
that's
Chloe.
true.
Because Chloe's had like 3 different akumatized
But
forms.
Hawkmoth also had a vested interest in winning her over. So, like, there was more of a connection because he knew who she was. I don't think Hawkmoth is as interested in Kagami as Hawkmoth is interested in Chloe Queen Bee.
He knows Tomoe will kick his ass if he ever gets revealed.
Because like in that like one phone call clip, Tomoe and Gabriel are just like, oh, that darn Agrest, oh, that darn Tsurugi, blah, 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 blah. They seem like genuinely pissed at each other. It was kind of funny.
The thing that I'm probably most interested to reference the Luka-gami from earlier is now that Luka and Kagami are single and ready to mingle, what does this mean for like other pairings?
Luka-gami all the way.
I think Luka and Kagami would be really good for each other since Luka's really pretty chill and Kagami is like a little bit more hot-headed, and I think they would be able to teach a lot of things to each other in a way that Adrigami isn't mature enough to handle. One of the things I realized when I was in a relationship at 15 is as you grow together, it's difficult to figure out where one person ends and the other person begins.
Yeah.
It's difficult to separate yourself from your relationship when you still don't know who yourself is.
They both give tall, chill, calm husband and tiny, angry wife energy. Like,
Yes!
You don't talk to my husband that way, honey.
Oh my God,
please,
yes.
don't murder the sandwich man.
I vote Lukagami. Some
Same.
people like Luke Chloe.
No.
I like Luka X self-care.
I like all the characters and self-care. Except for Rose and Julika, they can stay. And Gabe Neff. Except they also need a healthy dose of therapy. Still hurting from the lack of Natalie.
We got to she talking to Adrian through a tablet instead of actually being there. Like, ooh, she must be in pretty bad shape because she usually tells him in person to his face.
I'm going to try to see this as a good sign that even though she can't be on screen in these episodes because she's probably bedridden and still recovering from her use of the Miraculous, that the writers consider her important enough to be in the episodes in some ways. That's what I'm choosing to believe.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm
Yes.
right and we see, like, every season so far, we have seen an increase in the number of episodes that she's in. She was in
Exactly.
the very least in season 1 and way more in each subsequent season. So I'm hoping that this trend continues and like hopefully this is a way of them trying to incorporate her into as many episodes as they can, even when she doesn't exactly fit into them.
Even though she isn't on screen, we're getting updates and stuff on her, and that's like little mini updates. I just
She's slowly migrating from being a secondary character to a primary character.
yes, Kat.
She's achieving main character status alongside Adrian and Marinette. Obviously, they're the titular characters, and Gabriel.
Is she gonna get pink hair?
Oh no!
Please
She's already
no.
got the red streak.
No,
It's fine.
no.
I gave myself pink hair last week. Am I a main character now?
Yes.
Yay. Also in the trailers and stuff, they took the most dramatic scenes and they made it look like it was going to be like a super crazy battle, and then like it wasn't. They unleashed the crocodile and it was just over, which honestly I can get behind, but still. Yeah.
Fang was the real hero of that episode, honestly.
Real heroes have Fang.
Give Fang a Miraculous 2021, indeed.
We just clip to the final battle. It's just Hawkmoth getting eaten by Fang.
Oh my god.
Nom 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 nom.
But then there was just Adrian lying. Cat Noir's just lying his ass off. And Lies is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Good tactic, but why? He's like, I'm not Cat Noir and I'm not a superhero. I don't like Ladybug at all. I think she's the worst.
So speaking of aggressed boys destroying themselves, Adrian self-sabotaging with lies, Shadow Moth back at it again with the self-destructive Akumas.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm a perfect boy. Never told a lie in my life. Like, dumbass, what are you doing? You're a fucking liar too.
Honestly, if Truth had gotten a hold of him, we would have seen some shit go down. But of course it did not happen.
Okay, let's admit it. Gabriel's never lied in his life, except for the fact that he says he doesn't love Natalie.
He literally lies at least once for every episode. He said,
Like father, like son. Lame excuses on both ends. It's just an Akuma attack. Just say Akuma attack. Don't be like, oh, I have to go to school or whatever it is that like Marinette and Adrian do. And then just run. Just run, guys.
All they have to do is literally point to the giant lollipop monster and say, hey, Akuma, run!
Yeah, they're so stupid!
I love them.
Our stupid babies.
They're even more likely to compromise their identity that way, because at some point someone's going to be like, you know, you always like find weird excuses to disappear during an Akuma instead of just like running from the Akuma. That's a little fucking weird.
Alia has already done that, except it wasn't connected with the Akuma thing. She was like, Marinette, you're never where you're supposed to be. And Marinette was like,
she's like, yeah.
She was like, what now?
Funny that you say that. Sorry, I have to go defrost to the bakery. Bye. Speaking of good one-liner things, I don't know why it's so stupid, but I laughed so hard at Officer Rencompris when Kagami was first akumatized. Points his freaking, I think it's taser. I don't think he actually carries a gun. He points his taser at her and he's like, in the name of the law, what is that?
Yes. That's beautiful. I feel like that would be something that I would say on the regular, actually. My flatmate orders DoorDash and I'll be like, in the name of the law, what is
Like
that?
holding a crucifix or something. Just like, no.
That Panera is a threat. Yeah, okay, I think the general opinion, though, of lies is that rehash of truth, in the words of Corinne, lame.
In the words of the almighty corn, lame.
We give lies 2 corns out of 5.
That's generous, damn.
And that's all our topics today. Join us next time as we break down more spoilers for future episodes and specials. And if you enjoyed today's roundtable, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss any future videos.
Ring
that bell!
that bell!
Smack that bell harder
Smack
than...
that bell harder than I want to bitch slap Jagged across the face.
Oh, yeah, good one. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down if you don't like the video. We'll take your thumbs. We'll take them. They'll steal your thumbs, so don't even think about it.
Oh my god. And to get more of the inside scoop, join us in the Game Math Book and Art Club server. Link is in the description below. This podcast was made possible by the Game Math Book Club and Art Club, procrastination, copious amounts of Starbucks, raging at strangers online in video games, bubble tea, and support from viewers like you. Thank you.